Okay, hello once again. As you guys know, this is a astrology and politics channel where we try and look into our crystal balls and see what could possibly be transpiring. I've also been looking at other prophecies, and one in particular is a Catholic prophecy that in the end times the Pope will visit Moscow. It's never happened before, but the Pope will visit Moscow, and within a few weeks thereof, the Russian invasion of Europe will take place and World War III will commence. That is a Catholic prophecy. I'm not saying I 100% endorse it, but I have long talked about this conflict with Russia. So in context of that, it's very relevant. And I think when I was first saying war with Russia a few years ago, it was like, what? World War III? Never. Things are too normal. But now we can see it's on the cards. So it's definitely worth examining. And if you look here in the tablet, it's a Catholic news paper, and they have just been reporting that is it possible that it says Archbishop warns Pope not to visit Moscow before Kiev. So he's obviously thinking about visiting Moscow. Now this Pope has been particularly ill. It was widely reported that he'd have to step down or die, but he seems to have recovered from his various colon issues. Well, enough of the health stuff. And now he seems up for this visit to Moscow. Now, under Catholic prophecy, they believe that Russia would invade Europe, raise its flag over the Vatican, and eventually invade America. Under the kind of Protestant prophecies, which are mostly in the Trumpet magazine out of Philadelphia, they've long talked about an alliance between Russia and China, bringing down the West. And when they say the West, they're mainly talking about the Anglosphere. So it's UK and the colonies, Canada, Australia, and the Trumpet have also talked a lot about the key to end times prophecy is this alliance as well between the King of the North, Russia, and the King of the South, which is Iran. And we saw Putin in Iran forging alliances more recently. The Trumpet, which is like more the Protestant kind of prophecies, they talk about Iran aligning with several Northern African countries in a new powerful alliance that will push up towards the north. I know there's kind of a difference between Sunni and Shia there, but they would still align. Okay, so the other, a lot of, just to tie in this as well, a lot of people have said for a long time that this current Pope is a fake Pope, he was a black Pope, in other words, black in terms of he's a Jesuit Pope, and he's not really a Catholic, he's a Freemason, you know, all these things have been circulating. Well, I mean, look at his behavior, you know, he's certainly on board with the whole World Economic Forum, Great Reset, blah, 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 globalization. But they say the previous Pope, I think it was Benedict, the German Pope Ratzinger, was some people say, I'm not saying I endorse this, I'm talking about general Catholic rumblings that are going on or murmurings. They say that Pope Benedict was a good Pope. He's still waiting in the wings to take over again. But it says in end times prophecy that the good Pope will have to flee Rome, which means Benedict or Ratzinger would have to flee Rome. Now I'm just thinking that's quite strange, because we have parallel themes going on. So in America, we've got kind of the, I don't know if you say it on YouTube, the fake, you know, with Trump waiting in the wings and wanting to come out again and run, possibly with DeSantis, because they were sort of announcing that vaguely the other day. So then you've also got like a fake and imposter in power with kind of the good guy waiting in the wings. Now we also have this thing with a lot of people in the UK think Boris is the good guy. He's been stabbed in the back. The imposter will be Rishi Sunak or Liz Truss, whoever takes over. I think it's going to be Liz Truss. And they're talking about Boris starting another political party or manoeuvring in the background to get in again. Well, I don't go along with that, because I think kind of Boris is finished with this whole thing. I think it was too much for him. He'd rather make money on the speaking tour and avoid all the criticism and the responsibility. But it's still a school of thought that in the UK now, the good leader's been usurped, we've got an imposter. There's this feeling. Then in Italy, we know Salvini was usurped, and we had Draghi, but now Draghi's being removed. And now, of course, the people in the Vatican are also talking about the imposter versus the good guy waiting in the wings. So this kind of theme is rumbling around, isn't it? Okay. Then we've also, in Catholic prophecy, it seems this year would be the end of the current Pope, also the end of the Queen in the UK, and this is part of the whole global reset, the beginning of Armageddon, etc. Now, a lot of people have been talking about Planet X, which might come into the solar system and disrupt the harmony between the planets, even causing planets to crash into each other. Other people have talked about a planet Nemesis, which is on the other side of the sun, which will come into sight and also disrupt things in our solar system. Now, a lot of you will know they've long talked about a shift in the magnetic poles, and along the lines of Catholic prophecy, they also predict cataclysmic events, not just on Earth with earthquakes, tsunamis, etc., but across the whole solar system. So I'm also wondering if this whole Hoover Dam explosion plays into that, and there's going to be some sort of cataclysmic event along San Andreas Fault, because isn't it in the end times that California also separates out because of an earthquake? So you can see there's an awful lot in the mix, and I wonder with the Saturn-Uranus final square in October if this could also signify some sort of earthquake or earth-shattering event in America that will cause the Hoover Dam to burst, or maybe it'll be helped along a bit, hence the recent explosion, and that whole western side of America will go into some sort of climate ecological crisis lockdown thing, and sort of preparing us for that. Then there was an interview between Eric Gajewski and Cynthia McKinney, and he was saying that it is already known that there will be some sort of smallpox attack stroke outbreak in 3 American cities: Philadelphia, Atlanta, and Oklahoma City. So there's a little bit of a mixture for you to dwell on. Like I said, I don't necessarily endorse all these from an astrological perspective, but I think it's important that we look at all the philosophies going on. Just want to end off with one thing, if I can. Okay, I have it up. I was sent this list in a group of mine, and it said all these things on the list will be destroyed in the apocalypse, in the upcoming apocalypse. So 1 is the Ark of Baal, 2 Augusta, Germany Castle, 3 Biltmore Hotel, Coral Gables, Miami, 4 Buckingham Palace. Interesting. 5 CERN in Switzerland, 6 Bohemian Grove, 7 Comet Pits in Hollywood, but random that one, 8 Denver International Airport, 9 Epstein Island, 10 the Georgia Guidestone, so there's a tick on that one, 11 Hoover Dam, well, almost, 12 the Louvre in France, 13 and 14 were London Bank 1 and London Bank 2. I'm not sure what banks they're referring to, maybe Rothschild banks, I don't know. 5 London Bridge London. Is it really London Bridge, or is that the code for the Queen passing? 6 London Bridge Lake, Havasu City, Arizona. 17 Northern Castle, not sure when that is. 18 is Notre Dame, which already was gutted with fire. 19, the Sydney Opera House, I'll come back to that one. 20, the Pentagon, well, they already tried that, 9/11. 21, the Playboy Mansion. 22, Statue of Liberty. 23, Stonehenge, then the Tesla Building, the Getty Museum, the Queen's Hunting Lodge, I don't know if that's Balmoral, the Vatican, the Three Gorges Dam, US Capitol Building, Victoria's Secret Home, Washington Monument, the White House, and Windsor Tower. I assume it's part of Windsor Castle, which we know was already gutted, not gutted, but damaged by flames quite a few years ago. Interesting little list. I don't know if you want to, what you make of it. I'm putting it out there and you can have a little think. I'm interested in the Opera House because a few years ago when I did a chart for Australia, there were synergies or synchronicities in the chart from when the Opera House was opened and built to round about now. So, you know, that's interesting as well. And I note the Hoover Dam is having Pluto opposite Pluto right now. So it's got Pluto at the end of Cancer. And we now know that Pluto is at the end of Capricorn because the Hoover Dam was finished in 1936. So there's a kind of semi-Pluto return happening, or a Pluto opposition happening at the Hoover Dam for the first time. So guys, just some interesting things on prophecy, possible developments, and I have some more coming in this vein. As you know, always got something coming along, haven't I?